Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
Let's smack it in the ass.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
You gotta give him that huck and spit on that thing. You get me?
Oh, that sounds so good.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper, gang. Yeah! Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang. Yes. Boy, that is good news.
It is the 6th day of September 2024. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday morning on the Power Trip Morning Show. How are you? Glad you're here. Listen, there's a lot to get to today. Obviously, we got another round of the second round of the Initials tournament. We got a Vikings football Friday. There's so much to get ready for regarding this weekend's game. Marnie Gellner, I believe, coming in. Mark Parrish, I think, is going to stop by as well. And, of course, we have the competitors coming in. We'll break down last night's game. Look forward to this week's game. Wow, so much to do. Plus, the usual nonsense and the return of the Charch Challenge. So here we go. Here's some comedy. It's Brian Regan on children's books because it's National Read a Book Day. Hey, it's Friday. Come on in. I'm glad you're here.
You're supposed to read to your kids, even when they're babies, so I've always done that. I don't know who's writing books for babies, but I want a piece of that financial pie. I put my daughter on my lap with this big cardboard book, The Clock. The big clock. Tick-tock. The end. $12. And there's a synopsis on the back that is longer than the actual book, and I'm not exaggerating. Sit down with your children and you will delight as you read about the adventures of the ticking clock. Sometimes it goes tick and sometimes it goes talk, which just goes to show you never can be too sure in life, because sometimes things are one way, but they are about to change. Are you talking about this book? You can't possibly be talking about this book. You must have missed the subtext.
Good to know. What a mess.
Sex!
The finish line is waiting. Fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder. There's lightning in your stride.
It's Friday. It's the Power Trip Morning Show. It's September 6th. My name is Corey Cope. That's Chris Hockey. There's Meat Sauce Paul Lambert. There's Zachary Halverson. Initial semi-final number 2 at 8:15. The room's going to get packed in a little bit, but it doesn't start until Creasel walks in, and he has. Hi, John.
What's up?
Good morning, dude.
Good morning.
Big week for you. Close off to school this week. That looks fun.
She loves it, which makes me, I dreaded it for, obviously, all of us dread it for the selfish reasons of we lose a little bit more of our little one, you know?
Yeah.
But, so I was kind of dreading it in that regard because I knew it was going to be sad. And I think it is different with a little girl. I've raised a couple stepsons. I was sad when they went off. But with a little girl, it's just different. Right, Chris?
No doubt about it, man. I know.
It just is. That's your princess.
You don't love one more than you love the other. That's not the point.
Correct.
It's different, man. I can't explain it, and I know people can say whatever they want. There's just no way around it, man.
Yeah.
It's just different. I don't know. You want to mobilize the National Guard. You know what I mean? Right? Keep an eye on her every second of every day.
And then we walk in, though, and she's like, basically, all right, enough. Love you guys. Because the first day you walk them into the classroom, after that, you just bring them to the front door, or in the front door, and there are kids playing with little toys, and she's like, peace out. Only child, her best friends that lived across the street moved to Iowa. She wants friends. And so she was like, peace out, 5,000. And the smile on her face, I was like,
well, she seems to be an alpha. Yeah. I don't think she's going to have a hard time making friends.
Yeah, no. Is she teaching the class now?
Yeah.
Did she ask the teacher to take a few days off?
She did, yeah. We could go have a smoke. Go have a smoke. I'm going to teach these kids, yeah. So it's good. And every day, she's like, I can't wait till school tomorrow. So,
man, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a teacher. I know this time of year we all talk about that a lot. It's the beginning of the school year, and it just makes it much more evident, you know, when you watch the kids go off to school. Holy moly. I mean, I raising one at a time is tough. Raise 25 at a time.
And
Holy moly.
You get so attached. I mean, even saying goodbye to her, the in-home daycare she's been going to for a few years.
Yeah, right.
Because now it just isn't feasible for us to take her there, and then there's no bus that brings her to her little school or whatever. So that was devastating, sobbing before we went on our trip. And she's sobbing on the way up to the North Shore. And it was like, it's okay to feel this way.
Yeah.
It's all good. Get it out.
Yeah.
We understand. But you're still going to see Shelly.
Right.
We're going to hang out with Shelly next week. Like, it's all good.
Right.
But at that age, it's just like, okay, you got to feel this. You're going to be fine. And then now she still talks about Shelly, but she's happy to be in kindergarten.
Yep, it's the next stage, man.
That's it. The show must go on.
That little plant is growing.
I love it.
I love it.
Best feeling ever.
It's the best. Yep. Yeah. Now I'm going to go cry, guys. You guys do the show now. Hi, Zach.
Morning.
Hi, Zachary.
Hi. Great. How are you guys?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Zacho, your thoughts on the new lead singer of Linkin Park?
It's interesting. It was speculated for a long while that it was going to be a female lead singer, and then they were teasing this for about as long as I've ever seen a band tease something for at least 2 weeks. But she came out, and I can't imagine being in that position where she is filling some incredibly large shoes. And really, it's almost different because she's not really filling Chester's shoes, but she's putting herself in a very vulnerable position in a very big stage. And she goes out there on a live stream concert that they did yesterday, and she had every reason to be nervous and be terrified, and she went out and she absolutely killed it. So I'm excited.
Didn't know about this. Who is the new?
It's Emily Armstrong.
Yeah.
She was the lead singer of Dead Sarah.
You remember the song we used to play? I'm the Weatherman.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's her band.
Yeah.
Skin song, I'm the Weatherman.
She can sing.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She's great.
So Linkin Park's back.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I haven't listened to it yet, Zacho. I have to drive to. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Lac Pearl. Yeah, Lac Pearl today by myself. So I'm loading up the old set list to see to have some things to listen to. I'm going to listen to that whole thing on the way up there. But she's a great singer, man. What do you think so far, Zacho?
I think I'm excited to see what she brings. And one thing, watching a little bit of the live stream, because I guess I did hear the live version of the new song. But one thing I noticed really quickly was just how the faces of the other members of the band, and how they all seem to be clicking. Mike Shinoda was about as happy as I've seen him perform in probably 7 years. So they love her, and I don't think they would have done any of this if they didn't truly believe that this was the right way to start the next chapter of this storied band that had this horrific tragedy happen. And now kind of come back here hopefully and bring that music around again, because you hear these songs and they live on in the media players and everything like that. But so as you know, Chris, I mean, those songs deserve to be played.
That's it.
Live
it's a library.
and loud.
Yeah. It's a library, and obviously not making light of anything. You guys know that, but. One member is gone. The other guys deserve to have a career.
100%.
They also wrote those songs, So I'm glad to see that they've healed enough, perhaps, to go out and give it a shot. So let's see what happens, right?
Yeah.
At the very least, they'll be out on tour, and we get to sing those songs, and we get to remember Chester, right?
Yeah. I got the memory a week ago at the fair 10 years ago was when he in Linkin Park played the State Fair, and I last second. I bought it was like $50 scalp tickets outside.
Linkin Park played the State Fair?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, so who
Why did I
for
miss
them?
that?
Was it Jet or AFI, one of the two?
Yeah, right.
And then 30 Seconds to Mars, your guy.
Oh, that must have been good.
And then Linkin Park, and I was probably minutes away from just waving the white flag and seeing them again when they came around again, and they would eventually have a tour date in 2017 at the X. But unfortunately, as we know, that wouldn't have happened. So
what a crazy thing, Zach, because wasn't it a similar situation with Soundgarden?
Yeah, 5 days before Chris died, it was they had lowered the price to that Northern Invasion festival that they used to have out at Somerset. They lowered the price to $20 a day because they had obviously severe attendance issues, and thankfully they did that. Bought the ticket. I had to work at the Fan from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. that day, and I was exhausted. And I'm like, the idea of like going out to Somerset and parking and walking and then being there. And then, I was exhausted all day, but wanted to see Chris and the Soundgarden. Yeah. And thankfully did. I had a couple of clutch moments with two of the best singers, and I hate the fact that they were clutch. I wish both of them were still kicking today, but it's just it's the classic life is short, buy the concert tickets if you can,
100%.
You never know, unfortunately, what can happen next.
Or buy stand-up tickets.
Yes.
Like the Flop, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh, yeah.
Or do that. Okay. This segment is brought to you by our friends at Gutter Helmet MN and gutterhelmetmn.com. Gutter Helmet Wales. Don't clean your gutters out again. Gutterhelmetmn.com.
Yeah, I cleaned mine out a couple weeks ago.
You clean them out?
Yeah, I was up on a ladder.
Oh, he can't do things for himself.
I'm not that crippled.
Yeah, what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that came off very bitchy.
Bitchy's the wrong word.
Have you looked at yourself?
Well, so I have to go do this for my dad's gutters tomorrow, and because my dad goes, "Can you help me with the gutters tomorrow? Your sister doesn't want me up on the ladder." And I'm like, gravity doesn't want an 86-year-old up on the. I go, dude, I don't care if you live another 20 minutes or 20 years. Your ladder days are done. He goes, I can go on inside ladders. I go, what's the difference? You're 86. Get down from there.
I would argue
what are you doing?
Inside ladders are more dangerous because if you're home alone,
then nobody sees you fall.
Right. If you're the neighbor's like, hey, what's Lou doing laying on the driveway?
Get off the ladder.
Are you suntanning?
Lou's too old for shoots now, let alone ladders.
Lou, you need to rub you down with some baby oil?
Like, how about a step ladder in the kitchen? That's a no. Right? Get off.
Stop it.
Step ladders are way more dangerous. A ladder you can hold on to up high. I don't do step stools. Step ladders, sure.
Too tippy?
Yeah,
like
tippy, and I can hold on to the edge.
Sure.
I can lean forward on it. Yeah, so like a 6-foot ladder.
Right.
I can do. No problem.
There are a lot of things watching my dad get older where it's like, it is true how, you know, when you are that person, you just don't want to admit, I'm never going up on a ladder again. It's weird to say, I'm just done with
everything.
Right, all those things.
Right.
So that is exactly what I said to him yesterday. I go, your ladder days are done.
I had the exact
86
conversation with my parents last week when we were up at their place. My mom is like going out on the roof to get things. I'm like, Mom,
you wouldn't even go up on the roof. You had to have your old neighbor do it.
Sue was up on the roof?
Yeah, like grabbing things like sticks in it. I'm like, Mom. And then she's like,
your mom should not be on the roof.
She's like, I'm going to get a ladder and I'm like, Mom, do not.
No, pay hot-ass Randy to do it.
Let Dob do it.
Your dad goes up on the roof to see what way the wind is blowing using his Johnson.
Yeah, I mean.
He's like a Weathervein up there.
And Jeff up the life insurance policy on Sue. Hey, Sue, can you go up there and
a little closer to the edge.
I was like, you're done. Don't buy a ladder.
No,
don't go up on a ladder.
You need to have a ladder there in case someone else needs to go on the roof. Put a bike lock on the damn thing.
You're not going up on a ladder.
Yeah, my dad's comeback was, I have a ladder for indoors in case I need to change a light bulb or something. I go, live in darkness.
Yeah,
I know.
Correct.
I'll change it the next time I'm up there. What are you doing?
My mom and dad are vacationing in the Ukraine right now. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Mine are in Gaza.
And they brought ladders.
Yeah.
Get down from there.
I have a pole with the suction cup on it that I can change light bulbs because my ceiling's pretty high.
Yeah,
those things are sick.
You figure out a way to. I'm well equipped to be an old man because I've had to adjust to some things, but I would say maybe in the next 10 years, my ladder days will be behind me, and it's very minor stuff too, nothing risky. then Tim comes over with his, I think it's a gorilla ladder.
Yeah.
Like,
he's got a lot of gorilla stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
he sure does.
That's how it does, doesn't he? Hey, you know what, Corey, something you just said. I'm 53. Obviously, Alex is 30. Abby's 22. You won't believe it, but it will happen to you. You'll become the dad in that scenario.
Oh, of course.
And it's happening to me in little ways, and you can't believe it. Like when Alex or when Abigail says something to me, and they're like parenting me, you know what I mean? And I know why they're doing it. I do it to my mom and dad. I've done it to them forever. It's the natural transition.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And you want to go, wait a minute, I'm the dad here. But then you realize they do care, and you realize that's the natural scheme of things. You know, they're feeling themselves. They know what they know. And especially when you're that age, you know everything.
And it's a lot of it's just about self-awareness, right? Parents, when kids are on jungle gyms or playgrounds when they're little and they don't understand what they're doing is super dangerous, what do? You go, get down from there. You're going to get hurt. And then it reverses because that person then grows up and, I'm 86. I've done ladders for 86 years. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Get Gutter Helmet at GutterHelmetMN.com.
Let's see, what a commercial, Paul.
The hard one's going to be driving for me. That's going to be the hard one.
By then, though, the vehicles will be probably driving themselves entirely.
Yeah, I hope you're right. They probably will. You're right. Yeah, I'm sure you're right. Yeah. Wow. Oof.
Yep.
Life
is crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Look, you just said, Zacho, buy those concert tickets. Go to every concert you want to, right? Because you never know.
Amen.
I think the lesson I just taught the Twin Cities is if you're capable, why don't you spend some time on a ladder today? Because your ladder days might be numbered. So get up there, see what the world looks like from 10 feet higher. Take a peek.
I'm going to go
climb down slowly. Right, be careful. Get down from there. But spend some time on a ladder today. Why not? All right, football's back. Yeah, because you can. Yeah, football's back. We'll talk about that after this on the Fan.
Michael Shines, the best of us. A song called Back to 95.
Hey, Rubes, this football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Just head over to KFAN.com, keyword contest to learn more and enter today. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest.
That's right. Thank you, Bell Bank, making Tom Pelissero available for us every Thursday. That's awesome. Today we begin once again another edition of the Charch Challenge, which will be brought to you by our friends at Cultivated. CultivatedCBD.com. So excited about that. Opportunities every Tuesday for you to get big discounts on cultivated products and opportunities for us to make fools of ourselves. And by us, I mean you guys, because I won last year.
That is true. And we technically don't have a punishment yet. We're working on it.
The Syria one is too aggressive. I think that's dangerous.
The what one?
The Syria. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
I think it's cereal.
Yeah, me too.
I said cereal.
I need a bunch of cereal.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I still think that we got to keep it on the board just in case.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel, right? It looks like you're going to Syria.
People will still say it's not.
Yeah, exactly. That's not tough. I've done that.
So we almost always kind of announce it before, but we might have to just do the gentleman's agreement and just look, it doesn't matter. Like, if one of us gets our ass kicked in week one, it's not like a week later, well, I don't want to do that punishment because you're down by 10 points. It doesn't matter. We're all fine. So we'll see. We got a couple ideas that are close, but we don't know. So we'll hold off until we have it done.
The one that we've got cooking, I think, is hilarious. Yeah. I really believe there's an opportunity.
Is that the one you told me?
Yeah. Okay. Hawk is a really good idea.
I think we made it a little better this morning. So we'll break it down. You know what else is exciting? Football. And that's right. We got Vikings on Sunday, and we had a hell of an ending to a game last night, man. And you probably didn't stay up to watch it if you're listening right now. This is how it sounded.
Down to one play, 5 seconds to go. Lamar trying to make magic happen. Throw it end zone. Likely 2 feet down. Yes! Touchdown! What a play! Going for 2 and the win are the Ravens on opening night.
The runner's toe hit out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. The game is over. Kansas City has
won. 27-20. The Chiefs win on opening night by a toe.
Love that they were going for 2. That's the right play.
No hesitation either.
No hesitation. Harbaugh gets it. You go for 2. You're on the road. You got a chance to end it. You don't want to go to overtime. End it. Love
Especially
that.
with that running game, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
and Derrick Henry didn't look great for most of the game, but it's hard to stop him from 2 yards out.
Or to run the RPO even with those two.
I
think they were going to do.
He's a pretty good quarterback to have if you're trying to get a short 2-point conversion. But Tirico just said it. So Isaiah Likely's toe, the end of his toe touching the back of the end zone. So the touchdown rightfully overturned. His foot was on the line. Patrick Mahomes joked after the game that Likely should just wear white shoes in the future, and it might be a little harder to tell. But stepped on the line.
If you haven't seen it yet, there's no doubt his toe was on the line.
Absolutely.
Right. There's no way around it.
So made the right call.
He had a monster game, man.
And was it the play before or a couple? I mean, there was opportunities. So I mean, really,
he overthrew him on the one where he landed, where it looked like he broke his hip. He was open on that, and then Zay Flowers was wide open.
Yes,
wide.
How about
open.
if you have the Chiefs -3, right? If that touchdown counts and they go for 2, you're losing either way because they either lose by 1 or win by 1.
Right.
So you just needed that to get overturned, and it did. Congratulations. Good
nice
bet.
Thank you. Yeah. And hell of a start to the season. Those two teams are freaking awesome.
Through the first half, though, didn't you just want to give the trophy to the Chiefs? I mean, I was like, okay, well, they're the best team in the league again. This sucks.
But that shows, too, why Baltimore is so good. They wait them out.
Yep.
They played their game. They didn't really let Kansas City dictate it. And you'll see, and we'll see Sunday, but it's the reminder, and I don't think anyone was kidding themselves about Vikings being a contender this year. We're all aware of what's going on. But it is nights like that you really do see the tiers in the league as far as there are a group of teams that just are head and shoulders above the rest.
And a lot of Vikings fans' tears.
Well said. Well said. TEARS too, yes.
Well, we can at least cheer against the Packers tonight. That helps.
100%.
Did you see the Packer complaint already?
No.
So because the Eagles are the, quote, home team, even though it's in Brazil, Hawk probably deals with this all the time in London with the Vikings, depending on where you're going to stay. The Eagles apparently are pretty close to the stadium because they're the, quote, home team. The Packers have up to a 2-hour commute.
Oh, my gosh.
Probably need a military convoy.
Right, so they said it's between an hour and a half and 2 hours, depending on the traffic. So that's a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
And I know it's that old school football, everybody bust everywhere, but if one team's living seconds from the stadium in a 5-star hotel and somebody else has to bus for 2 hours, that's a massive disadvantage.
Massive.
So Packer fans already using the excuse computer saying 2-hour bus ride's going to suck.
I thought it was going to be, the complaint was that they didn't have natural light ice in bars down there.
There's that.
Multiple people I bet have ordered that and they're like, what?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Man. I tell you, that's aggressive.
There'll be some nice butts down there, though.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't change hotels the night before the game. Yeah, and there's an advance team for each team that goes to the cities like months before to pick things out and pick out the hotel and check out the hotel and stuff like that. But I believe, and I'm sure I'm right about this, this is the NFL as a whole's first trip to this city, to this country. So you got to take people on their word, and man, oh man.
It's hard to believe that there's not another solid hotel near the stadium.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
What's the longest bus ride you've had, Hawk?
Probably, well, you mean personally or with
the team. Sorry. Not the Charch
Greyhound.
Yeah. I would, London, of course, but then also Vegas last year, which still wasn't very long, but they put us in a hotel off the strip way out in the country. Yeah. And that was about 30 minutes probably. Without the police escort, it would have been way more than that,
Jeez.
Yeah, but the London thing was aggressive. They changed that for us this year.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So that was aggressive. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That's a hell of a lot of logistics, man. Getting a team and reading Goodell's comments yesterday, and you guys talked about it with Pelissero, I think. But it looks like they're thinking every team will play outside the U.S. every year once now in the future. Imagine that.
Yeah.
I mean, that is...
I think that's awesome.
They're going to have to hire...
It's smart.
Each team's going to have to hire staff just specifically for that.
Yes,
for sure.
You are
just
correct.
That.
Hey, Vikings, I will gladly take that job.
Yeah.
No, just
Vikings,
kidding. I like mine.
You mentioned it. Vikings are playing in Syria next year.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, you're in London 3 weeks from 4 weeks from now, right? 4 weeks
New
from
York
today.
City today we're flying to New York City to be there for the Vikings game this weekend. So
Oh, no kidding.
yeah,
You're
dude.
going to New York.
Yep.
Look at you.
My first time. I've never been, but yeah, I'm excited obviously for today. I don't feel like it's happening yet. Once I get to the facility, I'll feel like it's happening. But the London one, I'm jacked for. Now we're within the month.
Yeah.
You'll love it,
It's
man.
happening.
You'll
That
love
stadium
it.
is awesome.
It's sweet. Yeah.
The best.
And we got we bought a package that includes like a hospitality thing right before, because you gave me the heads up that you can't like drink beer in your seats because soccer fans are out of control.
They can't give them any projectiles.
Right, you got to go to the concourse.
So you have to go to the concourse, which is fine. Like, I'm there for an event. I don't need to get hammered. This isn't 35-year-old John. But that's interesting. You said, like, the concourses, though,
Empty.
are beautiful, right?
Like Apple stores, kind of. I mean, it's a very new stadium. It's just a sweet. You're gonna really be impressed.
So I should take time to explore the stadium as well, you're saying.
And the outside area. Yeah.
During the game, no one's in the concourse.
Yeah.
Because there's no beer to buy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just empty. It's kind of awesome.
Awesome.
And the way that fan base over there works when, with regular soccer games, like they're not used to, they stay in their seats for that. I mean, nobody's taking time away from the game, which is kind of cool over there.
Which is why it's louder than hell.
The whole time, too.
Except when Rosie was laughing at
Lewis scene. Oh, he got laughed for about 20 straight minutes.
Hawk could hear it.
They love it anytime you kick the ball, too, man.
Yeah.
They love it.
Front page sports after this. Mr. Z in about 20 minutes to talk about Beetlejuice, the
I
Charch
saw it.
challenge. Oh, you saw it?
I saw it yesterday.
Oh, man, let's get a review before we talk to Mr. Z in about 20 minutes. But front page sports next. Power Trip Morning Show fan.
You got a nice face, so where did you get it? The Michael Shine, see the last and then you never forget it. I got a nice face you should see sometime. That face will look good waking up next to mine. You got a nice face. I got a nice
Hey, hi everybody. Here we are at 6:06. It's Friday, September 6th. Remember, like 2 months ago, Sauce, we were like, yeah, football be here before you know it.
Yeah, hell yeah, man, and it's here.
It's here.
Opening weekend, man, the best.
I know.
The other thing we didn't talk about, how about Xavier Worthy?
Very fast.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, I'm
we
sorry,
kept hearing how fast he was.
First time he
Fastest guy in the
touched the
draft.
ball last
Yeah,
night. Oh
he's
my
great.
gosh.
But it's one
Yeah.
thing. There's always a super fast guy that the team takes a flyer on.
Yeah.
He is fast.
He's legit.
But it works. And Andy Reid knows how to get the most out offensively. He is a genius. That end around worked awesome. And then he got behind coverage there. I think the safety screwed up.
Wide open.
Yeah.
But that's part of what happens when you're that fast.
Yeah.
It's something to see.
It was like a video game when he got that end around, or that, somebody hit the X button and he was gone.
So think,
incredible.
If the fact that they won a Super Bowl after trading away one of the best receivers in football, lightning
Maybe
fast,
all time.
and then they win the Super Bowl, and now they look better than they were last
That's
year.
the scary thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, the good thing about the NFL, and this is not cheering for injuries, is every team is one injury away from being back with us. So play the season, right?
And last night, Hawk, I thought of you because you always talk about with running quarterbacks, eventually they're going to get hurt. And that style that they used last night where Lamar was basically their only running option, that cannot last.
No.
He'll get killed.
Yeah, and Kansas City's defense. Oof.
Yeah.
Sports.
Time now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Holiday Station Stores. Buy two, get one free when it comes to Red Bull. Those 12 ounces, you can mix and match any flavors you want of Red Bull at Holiday. Buy two, get one free.
Good to know.
That is good to know.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Holiday.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
The Twins beat the Rays 4-3. Julian, a 3-run home run. Wallner hit a solo shot as well. The Twins 4 games behind Cleveland, a half a game up on Kansas City. Both of those teams were idle yesterday, but the Twins are at Kansas City tonight starting at 7:10.
Wow.
Cleveland is at the Dodgers. The Twins have, I think, 22 games left. 7 of them are against Kansas City and Cleveland, and all 7 of those are on the road.
What?
Wow, Rosie.
It shall be interesting.
So, the division probably not super likely, but very, very, very likely they still get a wild card and get in.
Let's go.
It's like a 90-ish% based on the metrics that we make it.
Win, you're in, and then it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
Right, Zacho?
95.
That's what you always say.
Yeah. I'm only worried about the fact that we don't have Kepler for 10 days. I don't know what we're going to do without him.
Calm down.
Yeah. Correa's been out for 2 months.
And Buxton apparently tweaked something.
And getting thrown out of games.
I think I've been on the disabled list shorter period of time than Correa.
Well played, yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs superfan Chiefsaholic got 17 and a half years in prison without parole for 11 robberies across 7 states and laundering the money through casinos. Tip of the cap to that guy.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
He's the guy that always wears the gray wolf suit at Kansas City Chiefs games, if you've been following this story the last couple of years. He is 30 years old, went on a 16-month robbery spree starting in March of 22. His attorney said the robberies were driven by his gambling addiction.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're like, well, nice guy, maybe he just made some mistakes. They were in the story. They point out that multiple times he pointed guns at heads of people at banks, basically saying, "I'm going to come back and kill you if there's a die pack in this, or I'll shoot you in the head." So not a good dude.
No.
I love the robberies. I don't mind the gambling. Right? Those are two things I'm very fascinated by. But let's not use guns. Right? Yeah. Heists without violence. Or even a threat of violence.
And then, as we
piece
saw
of crap.
in the ESPN bit, a lot of the times he got away on a bike.
Yep. Yeah. Can't believe how long he got away.
On a bike.
What about that Viking guy that would ride his motorcycle around?
Ragnar?
Yeah. Did he ever get in any issues?
I don't think so.
I think he was a school principal, actually.
He was like a liaison officer at Minnetonka High School.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah.
Not a principal then. Damn it.
No.
Skull.
You stole my heart.
Yeah.
Even our mascots are nice.
Yeah.
Victor's not going to get into any issues.
Oh, God,
He's
no.
good.
Yeah, that's what they used to say about Chiefsaholic, too.
Yeah, they did.
Did they? There.
Yeah,
What if they went full on Point Break instead of the ex-presidents? It's just 4 giant Rube fans that dress up.
Yeah.
But then they rob banks dressed up as super fans.
Yeah.
Like if you walked into a bank dressed as Chiefsaholic and then just left, they would say the guy from the Chiefs games robbed the place.
He's back.
But it's me in a Chiefsaholic suit.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't understand it. He's in prison. The mystery begins.
What a mess.
If you
what a mess.
If you have 5 minutes and you can find it, watch the ESPN piece, because they would he would openly brag about how much money he had, but he would never fly because there was some weird bit. He would drive to every stadium. He'd never fly because it was weird.
It was John
Sounds
Madden.
like you retained a lot of it.
No, it was like 2 years ago.
It was an unforgettable show.
Take your own advice and watch it.
If you have 5 minutes.
If you have 5 minutes, you should check it out.
But honestly, wasn't there some bit about why he didn't fly?
You to
I don't remember.
If I have 5 minutes, maybe I should watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it again, and I'll tell you on Monday.
Put your phone
back.
away and watch it.
I'll tell you on Monday.
Riveting.
I didn't know any of it. Who got arrested?
Anyway, Packers and Eagles tonight, 7:15 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Like I just mentioned last segment, I guess it's about a 2-hour commute for the Packers. That'll be fun. Is this the first? This probably isn't the first, but let's see if anybody can think of anybody else or anything else like this. Is this the first matchup in the history of the NFL where the 2 quarterbacks' names form a song?
Trying to think.
Yeah. What?
Love Hurts.
Love Hurts, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can we think of any other quarterback matchup that's the title of a song that was popular?
Kiss Me.
Thong song.
God, I wish Sauce had gone first just so I could go, you don't get this bit.
I don't.
But John went first.
I'm trying to figure out the Chiefsaholic flight plan.
If we could play music right now, we could play Love Hurts and we could make a bit out of it. I don't think it'd be a good bit, but we could have tried. Love Hurts tonight at 7:15.
Another awesome game, though. 2 NFC
absolutely.
favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are picking the Packers to at least be in the NFC title game. A lot of people are picking the Eagles to potentially go to the Super Bowl. So, yeah. I mean, the NFL's hitting home runs right now. Should be a dandy. So hopefully everything goes well with the game and the logistics, because it'd be stupid if there's a distraction from the game because this didn't go well. I want it to be an awesome game.
Well, and we've had already some players complain about safety, right? That they don't feel safe. A lot of them are not leaving the hotel. And the only reason I'm crossing my fingers that doesn't happen, that an incident doesn't happen, is look what happened to the NBA in Vegas, right? The NBA is not in Las Vegas, which is egregious, because they had that, what was it, All-Star Weekend that just went south. There was a lot of stuff on the Strip that just was like really bad. I'm like, God dang it, why did we go to Vegas? And now the Raiders are there. The Knights are there. The A's are on their way there, right? The Las Vegas Aces. Like, how are the last team in is the NBA? So you wonder if something goes south here, do they ever go back to Brazil, right? Or just it's like let's just make sure everything goes well. Let's not have an incident,
because they've done Mexico City.
Yeah,
and I think that was at 50 to 50,
Rams
53, and Chiefs. I think.
Yeah.
It was like an arena football game.
Yeah, that was fun.
But they had air quality issues and whatever, if I remember correctly. So, it would be huge for it to work
They reran that game on NFL Network like a week ago. You should watch it. Like, there was the one score was like, wait, I forget what the score was.
I would remember.
But like, there were points. Hang on. No, like, there was.
We get it.
Anyway, you should watch it. Boom! Yeah.
I remember most of the game, and it was a couple of years ago. I mean, that was a sweet game.
Peace up, A-Town.
Oh, that's a hot.
You're going to have to pay $2,000 for that.
It's only $2 if you play the first 3 words?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pretty good deal. Hey, we gotta have the bosses answer one question.
Oh, no.
I saw a really good idea on Twitter. I'll tell you about it during the break, and then we'll see if you get what you guys think about. There's a loophole possibility here.
Sweet.
But when we come back, Beetlejuice is out. Chris, you saw it yesterday. We'll talk to Mr. Z about that. We'll get your review and more after this. Power Trip Morning Show fan.
Do you believe in love? Hey, good morning. Welcome back, Power Trip Morning Show. Here we are. A little bit of Cold Kingdom for you. And our special guest, the man, the myth, the legend, the person we can't tell you his exact identity, we'd have to kill you.
Wow.
He's our mystery mover reviewer. He's Mr. Z. Been part of the Power Trip for 4
Hey, guys, what's up?
Hi, what's going on?
Hi, Mr. Z.
Hi.
All right.
Hey.
So the big movie is Beetlejuice. Chris, you saw it yesterday before we talked to Mr. Z about how big and grand it might be. Give us your quick review.
I was so happy. It was so good.
Oh, really?
I was so pleased. I told you guys that I was worried. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. There's a lot going on in the script. It felt like it could go off the rails at any moment because there were so many different storylines going on. But it was great. They kept it together. It was a salient story. You could follow the storyline. You were rooting for the right people, and it was cool to watch. There were funny things. Beetlejuice is awesome. It was fun to see Winona Ryder be great again. What's her face from S Creek was spectacular as always.
O'Hara.
Yeah. I thought the way they incorporated the dad in the show was fantastic. I thought that was very clever. I loved it all the way around. I'd give it 9 out of 10. I thought it was great. Okay.
Mr. Z, your thoughts.
Yeah. The only really, I sometimes like to peek through negative comments and reviews about movies to see why people wouldn't like something. Most of the comments are people who are trying to somehow compare it to the first one, which is fine. But if that's the only negative review is that it's not the first one, well, I mean, it's not supposed to be. Tim Burton, I kind of like it that Tim Burton didn't just try to remake the first one. He didn't run out to do a cash grab. He just waited, and then one day he's like, yeah, I think it's time, and they made another Beetlejuice story. And we talked about a few weeks ago, the original Beetlejuice, much to some people's chagrin, was not considered a great movie. It was a fun little Tim Burton film. Silly, that did okay. It was like the 10th biggest movie of that year. And then over time, it got kind of a cult following because people would dress up as Beetlejuice for Halloween, and it became kind of this fun little classic film. I think this one was really good, and I think it's going to possibly open to $100 million, which would be ridiculous for September. Only one other movie has ever opened $100 million in September in the history of histories.
What's that? Do you know the other one?
It. And one of the Stephen King's It's opened to over $100 million. I think probably part 2. Other than that, it goes down really quickly after that. There's It and It Part 2 are two of the biggest, and then it drops to 70, 60, 50 really quick after that.
They should be in prison for theft, for the thievery of all that money. Those It movies were awful.
No, really? I liked them.
Oh, no way. Come on. The first Stephen King's It was fantastic. Loved it.
Yeah, the first one's all right, yeah. The second one's ridiculous.
You don't remember the second one?
Oh, I know the guy got arrested, and he can't fly to Chiefs games, but go watch it.
Tell me, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you remember what happened in the second one?
Yeah, they go down in the sewer, and he doesn't... Yeah, that's all I remember.
He doesn't what?
No, but they fight him like in the bowels of the sewer, right?
That's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you idiot.
I thought he said Splinter. Sorry.
Again, it sounds like you retained a lot of it. So, all right. So Beetlejuice supposed to do $100+ million. Again, the reviews are solid, right? Almost 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it sounds like they didn't fall into the trap that a lot of these long-awaited sequels did, right? Especially with comedies, Mr. Z. The ones that wait 15, 20 years in the last handful of years have just been unwatchable, right? And you just wish that they never made it. So I was super concerned that this one was going to be the same thing, but it sounds like so far they've done it correctly.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think Burton decided to just make his movie, and he's and have it be fun and charming, and most people are happy with that. So instead of trying to recreate anything, he just went back in, and he's got a weird... Oh, I want to throw Danny Elfman in there, something that maybe doesn't get talked about very much. Danny Elfman is sort of a genius, maybe not even sort of. His music, I mean, he wrote... Can you imagine being the guy who wrote the theme from Beetlejuice and the theme from Simpsons and Batman 1989? I mean, and wrote and sang Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, it's... So when his music starts, it's just... It brings you into that movie. And so I think Danny Elfman gets a little credit for the whole Tim Burton legacy. And it's fun when the music starts and you're like, oh my God, I'm here. It's Beetlejuice. So it adds a lot of fun to the movie.
Michael Keaton was the Smartlist guest this week, and I thought he just came off as awesome. Everybody seems to love him. I don't remember who it was. I think it was maybe Jason Bateman that brought up the point that Michael Keaton is somehow a movie star, a leading man movie star that doesn't feel like a celebrity. And then all three of them kind of said, like, he kind of tightropes that line between leading man and character actor. And maybe that's why he's never seemed like a, quote, celebrity, at least not in the modern era, right, where it's all social media, this and that. Michael Keaton's the real deal. He's had a super awesome career.
Yeah.
But, man, he does seem really kind of just under the radar.
Yeah, it might be his... When you think we go way back to like Mr. Mom and Gung Ho and movies like that, he kind of is your shucks guy, a little bit of Bradley Cooper, where he's kind of a hands in your pocket, shucks actor, and so I think that makes him very likable. But yeah, and then he disappeared for kind of a long time, and before he came back, so it's weird when you think of how many movies he's been in.
Yeah, if you're Batman and Beetlejuice and you're not a megastar, right? And he's a big star, but I'm just saying, like, their point was, like, he's not, George freaking Clooney. Yeah. By the way, speaking of George freaking Clooney, I saw one post yesterday on Twitter. I didn't research if this is legit or not. Is it true that Ocean's 14 is a thing?
I saw that yesterday on Twitter. I don't know if it is either.
Is that happening?
Yeah, I haven't officially. It hasn't been told to me, but it should be. But I don't know off the top of my head. I can't confirm.
Yeah, everything I'm seeing online says it's got a major development hurdle that it jumped over, and that it might be happening. Obviously, we don't have Bernie Mac anymore, so it would have to be a little bit of a different 11. But who knows? I love those movies. I would be totally in on Ocean's 14.
Yeah, they're great.
Yep, I would too.
Thanks, Mr. Z. Appreciate it, man.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
There he goes. Mr. Z. That Smartless interview with Michael Keaton, when he talks about the scene where in Batman, where he says, just off the cuff, I don't think I've ever been in this room before.
Right.
Because the mansion's so big. They are so right about that. because he's Michael Keaton, he says it in a way that makes it charming as opposed to
arrogant.
And only how many actors could do something like that? Do you remember the scene I'm talking about, John, where he kind of looks around and he goes, I don't think I've ever been in this room before.
I think it's the dinner scene with Vicky Vale.
Yeah.
And he just realizes he's never been in that room in his house. But he doesn't say it like, man, I've never been in this room.
My house is so big, I've never been in this room. Yeah.
It does have a charm to it.
Keaton's so good.
Yeah, he's so good.
So that's a good podcast to listen to then.
I mean, Smartless is one of the better ones anyway.
I never have heard it.
It's so freaking good.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you don't care about the guest, it gets a little long because it's an hour with somebody, right? But if it's somebody that you like, it's a home run every time.
Awesome.
And Keaton's crazy likable.
Yeah. You know who's a home run every time? Justin Jefferson. And he's ready for Sunday.
Very anxious, very excited to just play football. It's been a minute since we got back on that field and competed. Feels like a kid, just having that first game again and a time to showcase our talents and showcase what our team is all about. But it's one step towards our main goal. So the opportunities are there and we just got to make the most of them.
Let's go.
I feel like the Vikings this season are such a tough team to predict.
Yeah.
I could see them being pretty decent. Now, at the division being now all of a sudden on paper a juggernaut makes those divisional games tough. But it's like I could see them winning 8, 9, 10 games.
It all comes down to uncertainty with the quarterback, right? Think about it. If you had a healthy Cousins from 3 years ago in this roster,
hey, Cousins,
would you believe this team could compete for the division?
Yes.
I do too. But because Darnold is such an unknown and so far hasn't done much in his career, that's why the over-under in Vegas is 6.5.
And I feel like
it just doesn't look like it's going to be good.
The defense has so many new players.
Yeah.
We don't know. It looks like they should be able to get after the quarterback. Really, it looks like they really
should,
improved
yes,
that. The secondary, though, again, they're going to have to get to the quarterback.
They're going to be better than you think.
I think so too. I'm setting my expectations low. They should win Sunday.
Oh, the Giants
they absolutely should win Sunday.
Well said.
Yeah, agreed.
Giants are saying the same thing about us, right?
I know.
Because they have a similar situation, right? With Washington going the right direction now with Jaden Daniels. They're looking at the division going, Dallas is ready to compete, Philly's ready to compete, Washington's getting better. So Washington's kind of their Chicago, right, in the division. So the Giants are looking at them going, well, we're supposed to be dead last. They're looking at the NFC North going, well, at least we get to play the worst team in the NFC North. They are just as ready to feast on Sunday as the Vikings are. That's why it's a 1.5 point spread. It's both teams they have to have this one. Both teams have to have it to have any shot of keeping up with the other three teams in their division.
And Malik Neighbors better be a home run because they
as I said yesterday, they punted on what looks to be not, you don't get a draft where every quarterback starts right away. And almost all of them, except for JJ, who's hurt, and Drake May, are all starting. Penix, yeah. No, sorry. But like, the first overall pick is starting, the second overall pick starting.
Drake May will play this year. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sounded
they're just pumping you today.
Point.
I didn't, but I always forget about Penix because he.
Yeah.
Do you hate it when your own brain comes in and corrects you?
You catch yourself, and then we start laughing. You can hear yourself catch yourself.
Yeah, but I just think when you have how many were taken? 6 and 1, 2, 3, half are starting. One might have if he hadn't gotten hurt. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And they said, we'll rather take a quarterback.
Yeah. Neighbors better be good.
You mean wide receiver.
Sometimes I wish I got hit by a car on the way here.
No.
Sometimes we think you do.
I love you.
Yeah.
These guys are mean bastards.
What a weird traffic report that would be.
No, it's my fault. I don't talk well.
Yeah, big slowdown on 169.
Big slowdown on 394.
Looks like livestock was run over.
There's a big spill of.
There's a guy who's trying to explain what happened, and the cops just quit.
They just explaining the documentary.
Paul Charch in next.
The Power Hour begins at 8 a.m. It begins at 8 a.m. and it's all thanks to Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed. KFAN.com/watch.
Hey, Lacko.
Yes, sir.
If Charch is on the Switchblade, does that come up as Switchblade on the thingamajig?
Should be. Let me come over there. I can't remember what it's called. I'll know when I see it.
13, switchblade 14, 15, all that junk. He's on his way over. We got new equipment this year, so we used to be able to push a button and bring him up.
It's a well-oiled machine.
No.
We don't have Charch yet.
It works.
We don't have a punishment picked out yet. Parrish is late scratch. He's not feeling great, which is fine. That's nothing you can do about that. Everything's falling apart, Crease. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
I like our punishment. Did you tell him the new idea there, Saucy?
I did, yeah.
And what did you think?
I think it'd be better if you told him because I'm not very good at.
It was like when Paul was explaining that show. That
It wasn't that bad.
16, he says. Is there a 16? I don't see a 16. I see 13, 14, 15. All right, hold on. Hey, Charch, you there? No? Oh, that's it. There he is. Hi, Charchy. There you are.
Hey, all right.
All right,
What's
buddy.
up?
Hey, we found it.
Thank you. Just for your future reference, it's just FAN SBLD. Just so you know. There you go. All right.
Oh, I'll remember that for sure.
Yeah, I know you will.
Yeah. Fan with a bunch of just random letters at the end. Great.
Hey,
Noted.
listen, here's the deal. It is the Charch Challenge. Here we are again, presented by Cultivated and Cultivated CBD. How about that? Thank you, Cultivated, for coming on board and sponsoring this bit.
Yeah, Charch, it's back for year 96 or whatever it is.
It has been a long time.
I think it's 13, and Hawk has lost 8 of them.
We used
I
to
think
have
it's
to
with
do the
Power
jelly
Trip.
beans. Remember those? Like we've had so many.
Started simple.
Yeah.
Your road day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simpler times, right? Yeah. Now look, people want extravagant, horrifying punishments. And usually they want them to involve nudity. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
I
think you're thinking of a different kind of bread.
Yeah, I think you're.
That might be a different bet that you do.
I mean, freaking Zach drove from Philadelphia to Los Angeles. Took him, a little over 5 months, but he made it.
Yeah, he just got back.
Oh, man, that was quite the trek young Zachary had last spring here. This spring, I guess, technically.
Right.
Anyway, so Charch, here's the deal. Parrish isn't feeling good, so he's not here. So we're trying to figure out if we're just going to make him go last, because that seems to be like a fair punishment for not being here.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Chris, of course, is the ghost again this
Thank
year
you.
because he won last year.
Unbelievable. And he dominated.
I was dominant. I'm good at football stuff.
Last year, I still think that punishment would have been 10 times better if we had multiple people lose, because it would have been funny to watch Zach take 9 years to get across the country if somebody else had finished their punishment in a day and a half.
If it was me, I would have had that done in 24 hours.
Hauling balls, right? But that's kind of the beauty of it. So we'll probably announce the punishment next Friday, but for now at Charch, we're just trying to figure out how to get this thing up and running. So we're going to spin the wheel in a second, but before we get to that.
So wait, so whatever it is that you're contemplating it's complex. It's got a lot of moving parts.
Well, no, we just haven't cleared it with everybody. We haven't run it by Parrish. We haven't run it by Creasel. It's technically not even finalized in general. So we still have, we got to, cross some T's and dot some I's.
It involves a partner that we have.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure the partner is cool with
that's part of it as well.
Us embarrassing ourselves.
So
I can see why you wouldn't have had time to come up with it during the offseason.
Yeah, we didn't have any time.
We do this every year.
Every year. We didn't have time.
Every year.
That's how we roll.
What'd you see in the fantasy football world last night? My guess is the stock of Xavier Worthy is on the up and up.
Yeah, it's uptick, although I think not as much as tight end Isaiah Likely. That was, to me, that's going to be the more compelling story, because he's going to be available in a lot of leagues. Yeah. And it looks like he might actually end up being the new Mark Andrews, and everybody who drafted and started Mark Andrews, like I did in a couple of my guillotine leagues, in deep trouble already. And now the sweat is on.
Yeah.
I got to suffer through this. I got to suffer through 4 days of fretting about whether or not I'm going to get cut in those leagues. So, yeah, I think to me, Isaiah Likely with all the targets that he got, to me, is a bigger storyline.
Yeah, he looked legit, and obviously his numbers were even more unbelievable if that last touchdown would have counted. Right. But, of course, his toe was on the line. Because he had 100-plus yards anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, he had 111.
111, man.
And then Derrick Henry, I know it's a quick knee-jerk reaction, but that doesn't look like a great fit. I mean, it seems like then
they were behind.
They crowd the box, which then that hurts Lamar as well.
You gotta be delicate.
They can run those options, but yeah, it's kind of a weird. Again, we'll see how it is against other teams.
Well, their offensive line was bad.
Yeah,
bad, and it's not like Derrick Henry's a jitterbug who's going to make his own lanes. He needs big lanes for him to just power through. And then he goes and just attacks people at the second level. And they couldn't get that going really all night for him.
And as Collinsworth said last night, Charch, he's way better when he gets the ball out of from under center, when the quarterback's under center, not in the shotgun. He's way better at that.
And they never run that.
Correct.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Yep.
All right, Charch, let's break it down. Let's get into week 1 of the Charch Challenge. What do you got for us?
We're going with quarterbacks. First week, it just feels right to do quarterbacks. I think we usually do, but not always. And these are all mobile quarterbacks. I couldn't use Lamar Jackson, but everybody else on this list have got good wheels. So let's talk it through. We begin with Kyler Murray at Buffalo. Murray gains the first wideout taken in the draft, Marvin Harrison, who will immediately walk into an alpha role. Last year, Buffalo allowed the 10th most quarterback rushing yards and the 9th most quarterback rushing touchdowns. Next, Caleb Williams. He's the Bears quarterback, Chris.
Ooh, okay, thank you.
He is hosting Tennessee. Caleb finds himself in a remarkable spot for a rookie quarterback with 2 proven excellent receivers, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, along with a lottery pick rookie in Rome Odunze. Titans rebuilt much of last year's disappointing secondary in the offseason, but have only one proven star cornerback, L'Jarius Sneed. Next, Jaden Daniels. He's the Washington Commanders rookie quarterback at Tampa. Daniels might be the NFL's best running quarterback, and Washington's new offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, knows how to use a mobile quarterback, just like he did with Kyler Murray when he was a rookie. In limited preseason action, Daniels already scored a rushing touchdown. Last year, Tampa allowed the 5th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks, including the 2nd most rushing touchdowns to opposing quarterbacks. Next up is Jalen Hurts. That's tonight's game in Sao Paulo against Green Bay. Hurts scored 15 rushing touchdowns last year, a personal high, and Green Bay allowed the 2nd most quarterback rushing yards last year. Packers secondary looks good on paper, but if you back out games by backup quarterbacks from last year, you're only left with 8 games by opposing starting quarterbacks, and those starters averaged a whopping 271 yards and 2 touchdown passes per game. Next, Josh Allen against Arizona. Arizona's defense looks unimproved from last year's version, which was among the league's worst. But complicating matters, Josh Allen is missing Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis while trying to break in new receivers Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel.
What's your nickname for Gabe Davis again? I heard it on Fantasy Football Weekly, and now I forget what you guys call him.
Well, I call him the Guillotine League Assassin.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He has flop bad games.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson goes up against Texas. That is hosting Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Richardson's
Texans.
probably the highest risk-reward player on this list. Richardson only played 2 full games last year, and in those 2 full games, he finished as the 2nd highest scoring quarterback and the 4th highest scoring quarterback.
Ooh.
Last year, the Texans allowed the 8th most points to quarterbacks, and they allowed the most rushing touchdowns to the position.
Ooh.
Man, 6 quarterbacks who can run.
Thank you.
Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
All right.
So we spinning that wheel?
Ready, Zach?
Is that what we doing?
Ready, Zachary?
Yes, sir.
Spin that wheel.
There it goes.
Anybody but Corey.
Yeah. Anybody but Corey.
All right, first pick goes to... Okay, this is rigged. Zach Halverson.
Oh, come on.
You're on there 3 times.
Every time,
Yeah.
Zach.
This is rigged.
Every time.
I had a gut feeling, man. I think we're about to see something special this weekend with Caleb Williams. I'm going with him.
Ooh, okay.
All right. My number 5 ranked quarterback.
All right.
Board.
Okay.
Enjoy Philadelphia to Los Angeles again, Zachary. All right, spin the wheel. Caleb Williams goes 1. He's used to that. That looks like Sauce.
No.
Yep, Sauce second.
Don't you take my guy. Don't you do it.
I will take Josh Allen.
Okay, good.
So you're going with the proven
That's the
commodity.
chalk right there.
That's the
and
chalk.
he is my number 1, but it's super chalky. We'll see.
Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Come on.
Pick 3 goes to...
Come on.
Oh, boy. Me, I guess.
Ah,
All right.
crud. Come on now. Come on now.
So if you're going to really gamble, week one's the time to gamble, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to gamble on week one and go Jaden Daniels. Let's roll the dice and see if he can do something crazy in week one.
That's a good pick.
Good. I'm glad you
know, and he just might. The running ability looks very, very much like it's going to be like Lamar Jackson. He's got that kind of build and ability. We'll see how they deploy him. We don't know yet, but it's a great opportunity. Still, he's my number 6 ranked quarterback.
Yep, why not? Let's gamble week one. All right, spin number 4.
John Creasy.
Come on, give it to me.
Hogs Daddy.
We were going to say Parrish had to go 6th no matter what. He might be anyway because Chris goes 4th.
I'm excited to take Anthony Richardson. I have a feeling about that guy right in my gut.
Ooh, are you sure it's gut?
Well, trust me, there ain't much left in there after the week I've had.
Overnight oats.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Richardson goes 4th.
What do you think? What do you think?
He's my number 4 ranked quarterback out of this group, but this group is going to be so hard to tell. Rushing quarterbacks throw just massive variables into the whole thing. One guy runs for like 20 yards, doesn't do much, and the other guy runs for 85, and the whole thing gets turned upside down.
Yep.
Right.
Crease, you want Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Another.
My number 2 ranked quarterback for this week.
Kyler Murray.
Where did you have Kyler Murray by any chance on your list?
3rd.
Hey,
really? No kidding.
Charchy? If we were looking for your rankings, where would we look?
Yeah, Charchy.
Well, they're now at fantasylife.com, and you can get my weekly rankings there, and you can get guillotine-specific rankings there, which I've never offered in the past, but now we have. So, guillotine's a whole, it's a little different format where we're trying to really orient towards safety. So I'm now doing standard rankings and guillotine rankings at fantasylife.com.
Fantasylife.com was available?
Brilliant.
Seriously, I'm not kidding you. I can't believe it.
Right.
I would have bought that myself.
I'm shocked you don't own it.
Me too.
That would be the cleanest of the 500 URLs that you own the rights to.
True.
Let me tell you.
Charch, how many do you actually have?
URLs do I own?
Or at least, have the GoDaddy rights to just in case you ever use them.
Probably 20.
You have 20?
I lost a bunch of them around guillotine leagues because I had guillotine leagues. Then I had .com. Then I had like .net, .io, and then I had all the variations and bad spellings of guillotine leagues that would direct you to guillotine. Because a lot of people can't spell it, right?
Yeah.
So I had all the misspellings for guillotine leagues.
That's really brilliant.
So think about that. What's GoDaddy a year? Like $20-$30 a year to have a URL,
something
right?
like that.
That's on the package.
You had to pay $20 or $30 because Sauce can't spell guillotine.
I'm just sitting here.
But now Fantasy Life bought those.
Damn right. Let's go. And by the way, once again,
problem now.
He wasn't kidding, by the way, Charch. Of the 13 years we've done the Fantasy Charch Challenge, this will be year 13. I've lost 8.
Jeez.
So out of 12,
mathematically, that's really hard to do.
Yeah, I know. But now I got it figured out.
I'm batting 1,000.
Yeah, you've done it once and lost once.
Yeah. Twice.
Oh, twice. Oh,
yeah. I went to
that's right. You did that too.
bars.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
And then you basically had to walk the mall with Hawk when he lost.
Pretty much.
That's true, too. You're right. That's a good point. Yeah. Well, Charch, you're the best in the world. And again, also, so is Cultivated and CultivatedCBD.com. By the way, here's what we're doing this year. Each week, Cultivated is going to be doing a discount for fan listeners. Tuesday morning from 9 a.m. through Thursday at midnight. Here's what we're going to do. As always, you can use the KFAN code, the code KFAN. You'll get 15% off Cultivated CBD, okay? But if one person loses to the Ghost, you get 20% off using the code Ghost. If 2 people, 25% off using the code Ghost. If 3 people lose to the Ghost each week, you'll get 30% off using the code Ghost. So we'll know on Tuesday morning how many people lost to the Ghost that week, and then you'll get your discount on Cultivated CBD products that week. Yeah.
And you are the Ghost.
I am the Ghost, and I'm good at this stuff.
The Ghost with the most.
That's right.
9 to noon today, Charch?
9 to noon, Oakdale, the Friday football feast fire up. I think this is year 14.
Jeez.
Man.
I think it's 14. What was Favre's first year? Favre was 2009.
So it's got to be 15.
So how many years is that?
Well, minus
can somebody do math on that?
COVID. Yep.
So probably.
It's 400 years.
400 years. It's our 400 year anniversary
this
right
is 400
here.
years, and Beetlejuice was the first commissioner of your league.
Damn, though. I want to go. That's my Buffalo Wild Wings, but
the Oakdale one?
Yeah.
Where does the Oakdale one rank in terms of crowd size, Charch?
Well, it's the first one every year. It always does really well. I think people are excited for it. And, for some people, it's still summer. I don't know. It just, it always draws well.
Charchy, the word on the street as of yesterday was that Addison will play this weekend. He said it himself. Obviously, we'll have JJ, no Hawkinson. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Speedy, but I would hope that he gets to play. How do you feel about your Vikings heading into New York on Sunday?
It's a win they need to have because the next 4 games all look like they're going to be quite difficult. And I want to believe that this team is going to surprise people with Sam Darnold. My big worry is their defensive line can just wreck the game. And we've seen that before. And I'm a little bit worried about Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau against the interior of the Vikings offensive line. And that'll tell you to me that's how this game goes. If they can keep Sam Darnold upright, then I think the Vikings end up winning this game. But we've seen Dexter Lawrence just manhandle Garrett Bradbury in the past, and I'm still a little traumatized by that playoff loss 2 years ago.
Aaron catching the ball out of the backfield going to be big for us?
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, that's too, man.
He's the best receiving back that we've had in
ever.
I don't know how long.
It's Robert Smith.
I mean, Dalvin Cook wasn't bad, but he wasn't as naturally gifted.
Yeah.
But I'll note this: Giants were awesome at defending pass catching runners last year. They ranked number 1 in receptions allowed to running backs and number 2 in receiving touchdowns allowed to running backs, just one of them. And number 4 in receiving yards to running backs.
That sucks.
Hey, back to Addison for a second. Is the sophomore slump for wide receivers still a thing, or is it a myth?
No, that's a myth.
Thank you.
That's a myth.
Thank you.
And we're all down on Addison right now because he's made some dumb life decisions. But you guys know how many rookies in the Super Bowl era? So we're going back, 57 years, whatever. You know how many rookies have hit 900 yards and 10 touchdowns in the Super Bowl era?
I'm going to go with something like 3.
I'm going to go with 2.
Maybe 69.
7.
7? Okay.
Wow.
And half of them are in the Hall of Fame.
Holy balls.
I mean, it's, the dude had a remarkable season last year and
with 800 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Great point. On top of that, he was doing it with the passing stylings of Josh Dobbs.
And he was essentially a season-long caretaker for that dog, which I'm going to hope survived. Okay. I don't know. We never got the update.
But the key is that at the helm is a quarterback who in his career has 63 touchdown passes and 56 interceptions.
Yikes.
So if he can control turnovers and be safe-ish.
Just be the point guard.
Right. This team should be okay. I would just want them to be watchable. They're not going deep playoff run this year. Just make it fun. That's all we want.
Yeah. Well, can we have meaningful games in December? Right. That'd be great.
Yeah, man, let's have some fun.
It's not against the law.
Yeah. It's football season, Charchy. We made it.
Hell yeah.
All right. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
All right,
bye, everybody.
Thanks, Charch.
Thank you, Cultivated CBD and CultivatedCBD.com. Thank you, Paul Charchin.
All right, no Parrish today, no Marnie today, but the second semifinal of the Initials Invitationals at 8:15. So in a little bit, Matt Minster, Tommy Olson, Lawyer Lambert, and Mike Grimm square off. And what is it, $73,000? I think we're up to $73,000.
Today's the day.
You're calling your shot.
I feel it.
The Initials jackpot, thanks to our friends at St. Paul Federal Credit Union, up for grabs at 8:15 as well. But the news is next with Chris, Power Trip Morning Show fan.
The Fan.